Hello, we are Consulting Group 9 and we chose the company Gara. Gara was established as a company in 1993 and its core business is providing services to all kinds of ships that arrive into Icelandic harbors. The company offers all-inclusive agency service to all ship owners and to all operators. It supplies a complete port agency solutions for all types of ships such as military ships, fishing vessels, cruise ships, research ships, and superyachts. Gara provides an agency network that provides services in all 40 major ports in Iceland. Gara provides an agent with a complete knowledge of condition in each location, and in addition to this, the company is a member of the North Atlantic Agency (NAA), which service ships in Faroe Islands, Iceland, Norway, and Greenland.
There is an ethical issue connected to the arrival of ships to Iceland. Firstly, they must dispose of minimum amount of waste in every harbor they lay anchor in, and if they don't, fees are charged. Gara is involved because the company handles all the process waste disposal services. Secondly, the waste is driven to Reykjavik where it is either landfilled or sent out of the country, which contributes heavily to pollution. Thirdly, a problem arises when there is no waste or not enough waste to dispose of from the ships. Often they dispose of valuable materials such as paper, plastic, and metal that already have been sorted and prepared for recycling. Iceland is in fact behind other countries in municipal solid waste recycling materials, and Íslenska Gámafélagið supports this view of Gara and criticizes the government for inaction towards these matters. The manager of Gara recommends Iceland to apply for an exemption from the rule that ships must dispose of minimum amount of waste in every port.
Now I'm going to go through the short-term strategies. And the first one is that disposal is only allowed in Reykjavik and Akureyri to minimize the carbon footprint created by the waste collection. And for example, in Norway, they only allow it in one place for the same reason. And secondly, recycled and sorted waste will be bought from the cruise lines in order to enhance the waste management on board. And the waste can be sold to countries like UK, Netherlands, and Sweden. And finally, all ships that enters Icelandic territorial waters are required to keep a record of its waste disposal on its way to the country, and also officials are allowed to enter the ships for examination of a illegal disposal.
Our proposal for long-term strategy is twofold. Shipping lines should be encouraged and granted for creating systems on board to reduce waste magnitude. One such approach could be to define green ships and reward those ships with discounts on harbor fees. An example of a green ship is that they should have advanced water waste purification system on board, process spilled water through approved oil filtering equipment before releasing it to sea, have equipment to digest food prior to disposal at sea, recyclable materials being sorted and stored for offloading at harbors, able to create biofuel on board. The other long-term strategy could be investment in domestic recycling facilities and energy production out of a non-recyclable plastic. This should be to the future of Iceland since it's an island and it's not good for the environment to ship the waste out of the country or landfill it.
Hi, now I'd like to talk about the conclusion on this problem. First, I'd like to point out that it was surprisingly difficult for us to find sufficient Icelandic statistics and information about the landfilling and deported waste in this country. And our conclusion is that we need to invest more into the Icelandic infrastructure, such as waste burning and recycling facilities. For doing this, Iceland can probably get knowledge from European countries or some Asian countries to build up its own necessary infrastructure to deal with to deal with this problem. And for companies like Gara and Islandska Gaumafélagið, they can probably cooperate together to join forces to put pressure on the government towards a more sustainable way to deal with everything that we are facing now for the environment.